All right, Devin, man, appreciate the time. Good to get you back on. Before your fight, you got about a week left now. Um, First thing I want to get into is I saw a picture of you and John Jones underneath some rock with a big knife. What's going on in that?
We were actually in a cave. It's called the Sandia Cave, and it's probably about 40 miles from Albuquerque. And we go up halfway up the Sandia Mountain here, and then we go down a little trail, drive down a trail, then you have to hike up about 10 minutes, and then you're at this cave area, and then it goes quarter to a half mile in, and so we crawled in this cave and explored a little bit and faced some fears.
Is that something that you do normally? Just go into caves and just go trekking out and just finding things?
Yeah, kinda. I do anyways. And John ended up joining me on this adventure. But yeah, I pretty much every weekend. See, I'm from South Dakota, and it's pretty flat, and there's not much mountains and stuff like that in South Dakota. So when I'm out here in camp, I like to go out to the mountains and explore. I bring my truck out here and go off-roading and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's talk about the camp. Your last fight, I think it's only been 4 months. Is that the quickest turnaround so far in your UFC career?
Maybe it could be,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Does it feel any different for you, not having so much time in between fights?
A little bit. The biggest thing is that I was healthy after my last fight. I didn't break any bones, which is usually I break at least one bone. So that slows down recovery time and stuff like that, and time to get back in the cage. So yeah, this time I was healthy and I got right back to work. I was pretty disappointed after that loss and just wanted to get better. So I was back in training the next week back in South Dakota. So.
How many bones have you broken so far throughout your career?
Oh, I've broken my thumb a couple times, and it's usually reoccurring stuff. My thumb, and I've broke my see a scar, another
Yeah.
scar on my hand there. I broke that. I think that middle one three times, and then the pinky one, I think three or four times, and then I broke my foot once or twice. And I had a shoulder deal, and it's
Yeah.
elbow deal. So yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Does it ever, you've broken your right hand a few times. Your thumb, you said, is reoccurring. Does it
Yeah.
ever play through your mind when you go out there? You're just like, hey, this is gonna probably happen, so you just throw it.
It did. The next fight after I broke it the original time, and it didn't break that next fight, but it broke the fight after that. So two fights later, but it was something that it bothered me a little bit in camp and stuff like that. But I just always blamed it on scar tissue and cartilage moving around. So just you just ignore things like that in camp. It's just a thumb. So, but thankful for my responsible wife making me get it taken care of and getting it fixed, getting surgery on it and stuff like that. Otherwise, I probably would have just been like, let it heal on its own.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think every guy could relate to that. Just if you don't have a
Yeah.
wife or girlfriend or somebody next to you telling you to like go get it checked out, you probably will never get it
Mhm.
checked out, and it'll probably mess you up for in the long run.
Yeah, that's usually how I am. Yeah.
In this camp, I saw that, of course, you got Jones fighting the week before you, so you guys are running
Yeah.
concurrent camps. You also have Juan Adams there. He's fighting on the same card in Houston. How is having Juan there? A new guy come in. He's quite a
Uh,
character, so it must have been fun.
Juan's a fun guy, and he's a really nice guy too. He's a good guy to have around the team. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. So it's yeah, great addition to the team. And he's a big body. So yeah, it's always good having a big body, being a big guy. That's not always the case. Sometimes there's guys here, sometimes there's not. So yeah, anytime we have a big body in here, especially that big, almost unrealistic for me, but it's good to feel that pressure and that weight and be able to handle it.
It seems like you guys could have a lot to relate to because you guys are coming from like a smaller gym, in a smaller state and going to a major team. So,
Mhm.
have you kind of like taken him under your wing, so to say?
I haven't really had to.
Mm,
He was here, I think probably a couple of weeks before I got here. So he was already adjusted pretty well, and um, uh, I know he gets along with a lot of the guys, so they kind of helped him out getting adjusted and stuff like that, and making him feel comfortable. So when I got here, it was pretty much just work, and then actually he took me under his wing and took me to get my toenails painted. So we got, a pedicure last week, so that was new for me. But he does it all the time. He says so. So yeah, when get the nails done, nails did.
Did you get like like some designers? What was going on with it? Just colors or what?
Um, Well, most of the guys that do paint their nails usually blame it on, oh, so the nails won't like chip and fray off or something like that. But I don't know if it helps or not. But usually they get black. And I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I knew she would appreciate it if I got a little color on it. So I did like purple with like a gold in it, purple with like gold in the middle, kind of. It was some kind of special magnetic nail polish. They painted it on there, and then they put like a magnet deal on there and just made it pop. And yeah, it was kind of cool.
You probably went to training the next day. People were like, "What's going on with Devin?"
It was a little weird getting used to it. My coach Wink, he's like, what's that? And then I told him the reason behind it, or halfway for my daughter. But then having my opponent, but knocking my opponent out with painted toenails would be pretty cool. And so yeah, that's
Yeah,
and he's like, okay, that makes sense.
definitely a cool picture right there. Now, moving forward, your next fight is against Antigulov. He's another European opponent. You face guys from Poland, Austria, Serbia, now a Russian guy, and you had other fights fall out against European. Why are they making you fight all these European monsters, man?
Well, there's a funny story here. It happened again, actually, and yeah, he can't make it for visa issues, so I have a new opponent.
Okay,
Uh,
breaking news.
yeah, yeah, breaking news. So I'm fighting. Uh, let's see, it's so fresh, it's so new that I forget his name. Townsend. I think it's Dequan Townsend or something like that.
Oh yeah, he
Uh,
just fought a
he
couple
just,
weeks ago.
he just fought Bavon Lewis a couple weeks ago and lost to him. And I actually used to train. Bavon used to train here at Jackson Wink. Um, so yeah, it's a new opponent and a little bit of a new game plan, but nothing we can't handle. And we're just gonna go forward and same outcome though. We're gonna get a victory and gonna knock him out too. So with painted nails.
Now you're going to Rio Rancho, which is in New
Yeah.
Mexico. How far is that from Albuquerque?
It's pretty much Albuquerque. It's just
Okay.
like another, little. It's like a suburb type deal. But it's 30 minutes from the gym here. So it's Albuquerque pretty much.
So everybody's gonna be there. The whole gym, the team, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty cool and nice. I like fighting at home. It's pretty much home for me. Even though I live in South Dakota and I do my camps here, but I've been coming out here for about 3 years now. And so it's a second home for me, and I know a lot of people and stuff like that. And I love that little bit of added pressure, just people wanting to see you do good. When I fought for LFA or RFA back then, most of my fights were in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in my hometown. So I got used to that pressure, and I enjoy it. So it's going to add to the fight.
The main event, also a light heavyweight matchup. This one is very pivotal for in the title picture. You got Corey Anderson versus Jan Blachowicz. You face Blachowicz. What is your breakdown of this fight? Do you feel like Corey is going in there as the favorite?
I would think so, just because Corey's so well-rounded, especially after showing that last knockout victory, um, over the Brazilian guy, Johnny Walker. Especially after showing that, and then everybody knows he can wrestle, so he's a pretty well-rounded guy. But I fought Jan, and Jan's one tough dude, and we've seen him surprise a lot of people and upset a lot of people. So I can't count him out at all. Definitely, it should be a good fight.
Went back and forth with wins and losses the last few fights. Right now, what would you consider yourself? Would you consider yourself still a prospect, or do you feel like you're a veteran, or even on the verge of being a contender?
I would say a veteran, and a guy that could pop at any time. So I've had some experience, some ups, like I said, some ups and downs, and I've learned so much. And I fought some really good guys, and I trained with some really good guys. So yeah, I'm one of those guys that can pop at any time. I just got to string together a few wins, and then my name's going to be talked about a lot more. That's exactly what's going to happen. I've changed a lot of things and I've adjusted, and you can't do the same thing and then expect different results. So I had to change my game a little bit. Not necessarily change my game, but change the way I go about different things. Definitely working on my jujitsu a lot more and stuff like that, and trying to be a well-rounded fighter, and also on my mental game and staying focused and not having these little mental errors in these fights that have costed me wins. Because I've had a few of them where I was like, I definitely could have won. Hyon was one of them. Rakic was, well, pretty much all of them, But I'd
Yeah.
made a couple, one mental error, and that could be a fight, especially at this level.
Moving forward, you're only 29 years old, man. Like right
Yeah.
now, do you feel like health-wise and mentally, do you feel like you're at the beginning of your prime? Because, right now, 29 years old, it's not, people usually think it's like 32 is the prime.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's guys that have proven that's wrong. You got Cormier and Yoel Romero. I think he's getting up there in age too, and Holly Holm. I think she's over 35.
Yeah.
It's you got these athletes that they've proven that as long as you stay active and stay grinding, you can compete. And later on, to 40 or whoever, however old. So, but yeah, I feel great. I'm healthy, and like you said, I'm 29 years old, and there's still a lot that I want to do in MMA, in the UFC, and also maybe in other sports too. I caught myself looking at Olympic bobsled tryouts, stuff
Okay.
like that. Stuff. I'm an athlete. I love being an athlete, and I don't know how much that would interfere with my UFC career or anything like that, but it's definitely something that I was looking at just because it looks like it would be fun, and I feel like I could compete at it.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time, Cool Runnings, man. You can't beat that movie.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think was it Herschel Walker maybe
Yeah, you're
that,
right. Herschel
that
Walker.
he did the bobsled thing, and
Yeah.
he was still in the NFL at the time, but I like to have fun, and I was born an athlete, and that's what I like to do. So, and I love fighting. I love UFC, and I'm going to continue to grow at that. And I'm also going to, definitely have some plans for retirement too. So after retirement, who knows what I'll do.
All right, man. February 15th, UFC on ESPN Plus 25. New opponent, but the same goal in mind. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Devin, for the time, and good luck on the fight and everything going on outside the cage.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's gonna be good. Thank you.